Welcome to Voice Power, the podcast all about bringing the power of voice for your business or personal needs. You will hear how voice increases your positivity and creates amazing opportunities. Your host, Earl Thomas, the voice, will share his vast experience on today's episode. Thanks for tuning in, subscribing, and writing a review wherever you receive your podcast.
Today, my very special guest embraces a deep passion for helping others in the field of social work. His specialization is in community engagements, research projects, administration, and education. A very talented individual who cares and loves helping people. Thomas Shajan was selected for the International Exchange Program with Cato University, Belgium. He was selected because in his fieldwork at Raj Hajuri College of Social Sciences in India, Thomas stood out as the best fieldwork student while completing his Master of Social Work. Thomas is the founder and director of Preeminent Foundation of Community Engagements. His vast array of skills with his foundation are research, advocacy, consulting, healthcare, educational research, career coaching, language training, nonprofit consulting, content strategy, proposal writing, and project management consultations. His nonprofit helps in many areas, including online language classes in professional exam preparation, ESL, German and French. Preeminent Foundation originally established in 2020 in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic. Thomas is an excellent leader as he cares for people with the many services he provides, including partnering with leading nonprofit, business, and research organizations in Vancouver, BC. Thomas helps like-minded organizations and professionals as a consultant to successfully implement their community engagement activities. Community is very important to Thomas, and his great talent comes together with passion in the many services provided at Preeminent. It is with gratitude and anticipation to discover how Thomas began his passionate work and developed the vital services to his community. Welcome, Thomas. I'm so glad you're here today. How are you doing?
Hi, Earl. I'm good. Thanks for having me here.
We discover at Voice Power how our voice and life encourages and helps others. I know your passion to help others is very evident and obvious. Thanks for taking the time to share your experience. When did you begin to think about helping others in social work?
Because I wasn't a very good science student. I was not good in maths or banking, anything like that. So I wanted to do something different in life. And that's why I took some of these subjects like psychology, economics. At that time, it was not a very smart option to choose because the whole country was like behind engineers and doctors, which I'm not. And I had to move to another place, which is far away from my home, to study this. And then after that, I wanted to check what I am going to do in life. And I first got admission for something related to journalism, and then I got another option, which was social work. So my family advised me, because I am good with people, I should think about going for social work. And I decided to go for that. I still remember my first 2 semesters in the college, I was really confused if I should take it up or not, or should I continue with it. But my third semester with the Alzheimer's patients, where I interned for almost 6 months, I could do a lot of things for them. And then I decided that I should stick with this.
You almost enrolled to be a copywriter. What happened that led you to work on a bachelor's in social work?
Copywriter was the actual course that I opted for, that I thought I wanted to do advanced journalism. But then still, my friends and family, they would actually make jokes like, if I become a journalist and if I took the copywriter course, I would create a lot of enemies because I am very direct in what I say about what's happening around me. I am to the point, and I don't hesitate for a second to talk against something which is happening, or talk for something or someone. And but as I said, like, because copywriting, I didn't have any clue about what I should learn. Ultimately, with a heavy heart, I decided to drop it, and I joined the college, which was so close to my home, so I could walk. 3 years I walked to the college, to and fro, and I completed my graduation.
What is it about helping others that creates fulfillment for you?
See, this is the thing. If I can see one person, at least one person, individual, genuinely happy, if I could bring change to somebody's life, that's the best thing I could do. I can say, like, when I have taught in the past, when I was doing some teachings in the past, because they were so passionate about building a career, a life, a job, move abroad, but they didn't have any money to spend on the language classes. So I had to make choices. Like, I'm doing it for free, but doing it for free, it doesn't mean I am going to jeopardize on the quality, but I still want the person to have the best health. I try not to close my eyes against something, because now I have a family, I have a kid, a beautiful wife, and I have to take care of their own wishes as well, their own safety as well, their own happiness as well. So I am restricting myself from a lot of things that I really don't understand why the world is like this, why and how it is like this, how people are like, they are like, being a very self-centered narcissist kind of thing. And I sometimes feel like I am like a one-man army trying to fight against all the odds in life, trying to help people. But when I help people, I must say that the first question I ask them is like, what have you done for that thing that you are trying to achieve? Any steps that you have taken? What was the success? What was the failure? And why have you come to me for help? I ensure all this, but because some people really want me to spoon feed them, I hate that. I want them to take, no matter it's small, it's big, it's heavy, it's a very tiny step. I just want them to take at least one step that will help them to learn what they have done, and then they come to me.
There's nothing like self motivation, and that really drives a person forward. I like how you answered that. Just to pick up on a couple of things you said there, how long have you been married, and how old is your baby?
Oh,
And what was your baby, boy or girl?
it's a boy. And I've been married like 2018 December, and I actually met her here in Canada. She's the love of my life. and my boy, we were blessed with a baby boy back in November 2023. Our lives has changed since then for good. I think because I'm doing self-employment, because I'm self-employed, and I know that I applied for hundreds of jobs, thousands of jobs, millions of jobs, and then I didn't get through anywhere. Like I finished the third round of interview. I finished their written test in health authorities and all, but then finally nobody was interested in hiring me due to various reasons. But ultimately, when I look back, I thank God that I did not get those jobs, because now I can take care of the family as well, because I can spend time with them. I can spend each and every moment with them. I can see my boy grow up tiny by tiny. When he smiles at me, if I go for work, I won't see him for 8 hours a day. So I still can see him. I can spend time with him. So I am thankful to all those people who did not actually hire me, because this is my lifetime.
And it sounds like you're really happy with it. I'm really glad you're here to tell us about it. Now, tell us about your training at Rajuri College. How did it prepare you for your life's passion?
Rajagiri College, I am saying it with all honesty, it is one of the finest social work colleges in the country, India. Probably the second best after Tata Institute, which is the pioneers institute in India for social work. When I was there, I actually did my high school in Rajagiri school. Going back to Rajagiri was like going back to my home. I knew the campus. I knew each and everything, the ground, the basketball court, the parking lots, where I want to go if I want to escape. It's like a campus built inside a huge forest. That was so cool to have my school life and my college life. When I went back to complete my undergraduate degree course, uh, we have interviews. When you enroll in a course, the staff members, the teachers will interview you. And the one question one of the faculty members asked me was, "Why do you want to do social work?" I like helping people. I like to talk. I like to. I am a very super hyper active person, and I don't like to sit in one place for a long time. So I thought I will give it a try, and he was like, "That's a very genuine answer, because nobody says their heart out when they are going for interviews. People keep saying, 'Oh, I want to become excellent. I want to show my skills and talents, and this. I will be I will be the best I can, and you wouldn't survive a day without me. Blah 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 things.' I just want to say that, okay, I just want to try, you know, I just want to help trying people." And then he was like, "Okay, you are in."
When you were selected for the International Exchange Program, what energy and focus did you demonstrate to be noticed as the best fieldwork student?
My juniors in the college, or they used to tell me that I am an inspiration for them. I don't know on what basis, but I am thankful to those who said I am able to inspire them a bit, if at all it is happening. When I was selected for this international exchange program, if I am right, and to the staff members at Rajagiri College, if you are hearing this, I am sorry if I am wrong. I am probably the first guy male candidate to be selected for this international exchange with Cato University. I don't know if my seniors had the chance. Any male seniors had the chance before. I don't know. But when I was selected, I was like, okay, sounds cool, and I've done so far well. I didn't hesitate a bit to go because that was an opportunity for me with two other girls and a staff member. I I went there to the college. We were given opportunity to do some shows, some slide shows, about India, how India is, what are the socio cultural, political, sporting, everything about India, the history of India, the the healthcare advancements that India had even before the modern medicine was introduced. When we talked about all that, the whole crowd was quiet. They did not digest the fact that India is this big in terms of history and in terms of the culture and everything. I remember because I am a very keen guy. I don't like fake news. There is an organization in Belgium that recruits Belgian students to go to India to do their fieldwork. The information they give to these students back then was all wrong because according to them, India is a very poor country. And then their only biggest place in India they know is Mumbai. The we have a street called Dharavi Street, and the only people they know in India was the Bollywood actors, Shah Rukh Khan, and all those big names. And I told them, excuse me, you are giving a very wrong information about India. India is not a poor country anymore. You cannot teach wrong things to your students and send them to a country like India because they will go haywire if they go like that. You have to give them facts. And I with my friends who were there wrote a complaint to the officials and told them you have to teach them the right thing. And I didn't do a follow up on that because by that time I was sent back to India and my course was done. This is the thing. There was an Oscar winning movie named Slumdog Millionaire. That movie is the reason I love the songs in that. There's no question about it. But that movie somehow backfired the idea of the world about India. India is not filled with slums. Of course, we have slums. Even Canada has slums. We have homeless people. Nobody portrays homelessness of a country in a big screen. And after that, when I finished my undergraduate degree, I had a few surgeries to undergo, and I took a break. So I wanted to do a master's degree now. I wrote exams all over India, but I didn't get there because of language issue. In social work, we need to learn the local language. And after all those exams, I finally came back to Rajagiri College. It was like the destiny was there for me. And then I came back to Rajagiri College. I could initiate a lot of innovative things on the field. Like we spent Diwali celebration that day with prisoners in jail.
Mm-hmm.
Those who committed civil crimes.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first time ever from a college somebody was initiating an activity with the prisoners in jail to spend a day with them. Those kind of things really helped me to become the best fieldwork student in my college.
When you were doing the international exchange program, what is the biggest highlight or the biggest takeaway you got from that program? What do you, when you think of it, what really excited you and it was just so much fun and you really learned a lot?
The cultural exchange itself is the one I learned. The cultural shock, indeed. I still remember nobody even applauded after we finished presentation about India. It was a cultural shock for them. To be honest, sadly, I kind of the undergraduate degree that I was doing and all the international exchange programs that I've done was only a base. I've done so much more in my master's. Uh, Even my friends in college, they arrange community talks across the state of Kerala. When they hire the resource person to talk, they hired me.
Oh,
I used to go to every field to talk. But when I arranged a community talk or something, I organized everything, coordinated everything, and then I was the resource person. And I also saved a lot of money in there because when I was hired to other fields, I was paid.
I really am impressed with that intro that you have. Uh, you've started the services and programs of Preeminent. It amazes me of what you offer. Name 3 or 4 that create the most happiness in delivering those services. What are the 3 or 4 that you really enjoy the most?
One is without doubt, I would say cancer research. Cancer is killing. It's a very, very bad illness. And doing a research to identify all the complementary and alternative treatment practices which is available today, it gives me great passion, interest, and satisfaction to know that I am able to generate information to those who need it that might help people to stay alive, live a little bit longer, have a life filled with quality. And I'm thankful to the organization called Cancer Treatment Options and Management for supporting this. We are together trying to come up with great advocacy programs to spread awareness about cancer treatment, the options, what are the things that they have to think about. Even we are trying to educate the conventional healthcare practitioners to look into these alternative prospects as well. And the second thing I am interested is the language training because I know that I have severe stammering issues in my childhood. My eardrums were implanted. See, you can see the stitch marks of these surgeries here.
Mm-hmm.
And I could only breathe through one nostril. I am a self-made person, of course. I had support from the God, from my family, from my mom, especially. I have to tell here that my mom is the epitome of perseverance and skill. Without her, I wouldn't be here talking about it. And I had to undergo surgeries, multiple surgeries. But despite all that, I used to have friends in school who used to tell me I have to write things that I have to say because writing was faster and I couldn't speak a word. From there, there was no treatment. everybody was like, he's good, he's fine, no issues with him. So I trained myself. I reached a point where I cannot handle my stammering anymore. So in college, I decided to deal with it. I started singing. I was so scared of singing. And then I realized that slowly, when I started singing, I don't have stammering. I did my first stage program. It was an English song. It became a successful one because I did not stammer a bit. Then I realized that I should speak in a way it is musical. Then I started bringing non-verbal communications in my in my speeches. Everything else that happened after that is history, and everybody, at least most of my friends who knows me, who have closely watched my growth, knows what I'm saying. It's like in my IELTS exam that I wrote, for a person who has speaking issues, I got 7 out of 9.
Ooh.
For a person whose eardrums were fixed, I got 9 out of 9
Wow.
in the listening test. And then it was like, okay, I was taking classes, but nobody really taught me how to do it. I self-trained it. So I want to share my experience to the people who come to take these classes from me.
They're blessed to have you because you have really worked on that stammering and that musical. I've never heard of that way of overcoming that. It's just amazing. You're going to be an inspiration to my listeners out there in podcast land, and they're going to really benefit from this interview. Now, what are recent current updates in the nonprofit sector that you find encouraging?
Some of the some of the partnership that I've had recently with to name a few cancer treatment options, which is the CTOAM for the cancer research. Another partnership that I have is with the PICS, the Progressive Intercultural Society, and with IEC of BC for the mentoring services of their own clients who come to Canada, who are trying to establish a life here. I am more than happy to help them, provide services to them, help them to build their resumes, their LinkedIn, how to approach interviews. Also, something more. Every time when a client comes to somebody for service, they stick to the guideline, the instructions. But for me, I try to give something more, like inspiring them, like somebody who is still feeling they are not good enough because of their educational background, something. So I try to inspire them. I tell them stories. I take them for a walk. Recently, I had a client. I have a client. Like the original script is to stick to the agenda, things like that. But what I do is I invite them for a coffee to Waves Coffee. We go for a walk. I ask them to observe things around them instead of being on the phone all the time. Today, I see that many people, youngsters, are on their phone when they are walking. They don't look straight, they don't observe things. It's very nice to observe your environment, the people, what they do, the small things that you catch. That will help you to maybe in your future talks, you can quote that example when you write something, when you have an interview, that you can quote things that you have seen. I try to help them in those ways that really is important, that I feel. And these partnerships that I've made very recently, and now also I am trying to work on other partnerships as well. have really helped me to extend my services.
I realize that as we're talking, you and I have a really good connection. And this has happened before when I've been doing interviews. You actually answered a question that I never asked yet. But I'm going to let you amplify on it because I was going to ask you who has inspired you throughout your life to be the passionate, kind person you are today, who helps others. And I know you already said it's your mom. So is there something more you want to say about your mom?
Oh yeah, yeah, sure. When talking about my mom, it's like a never-ending thing for me. It's like she sometimes, even though I get angry at her because she keeps saying, try to forget and forgive people that who have hurt you, who have said bad about you, who have dished you, who have beaten you up when you were so vulnerable. And but all those teachings that she gave, it's like I learned to let go of many things in life, uh, because if you don't let go of things, it's just an emotional baggage that will harm you for the rest of your life. And she never actually stopped me from trying anything that I wanted to do in life. When I went to Australia and I became a failure, she told me to try something else. As simple as that. Don't worry about the money, but of course, the income part, the expenses part is always a concern for everybody. But then she said, "Don't worry, just try something else." It's just that she just wanted me to be happy, and I don't. She just wants me not to have another emotional breakdown because of a failure. Because after realizing that I can do things better in school, because I failed in school as well. In ninth grade, I failed. I wanted to get a pass certificate and go to a low standard school to clear my 10th. It was like a prestigious thing in India. But then my mom and my other family members who really wished me well said, "You have to stick to that school that you are here there right now." And I did my ninth grade again. I've been teased a lot because of that, because everybody else in the family was like a intelligent, smart, educationally perfect people. I'm like a very mediocre, average person who is not interested in science, not interested in commerce, not interested in any biggie stuff. And then, but my mom said, "Do what your heart says." And my sister actually inspired me to take masters in social work. She kept saying, "You can do it. You have to do it." And my mom is like, never accused me of anything, never doubted me of anything. He just wanted me to be happy and safe, and don't want another failure in life, because I couldn't take it after my school, because I was going up like this, so high that going to Australia, I went just like that. So she didn't want that to happen again, but she supported me, and I tried to come to Canada, and it worked.
I'm glad you came to Canada. I mean, it's very interesting about your mom and your sister. Having your family behind you, I think, is really important. And I do not see you as a mediocre person. You're a very quality person, and I'm really glad we're having this interview. Now, it's almost 4 years that Preeminent has been going. Could you give us a quick overview of what the nonprofit has accomplished and what you see in the next 4 years for Preeminent?
Sure. I started Preeminent, as you know, in the midst of COVID-19. Back then, it was Tom's Language School. Tom's Language School. It was an online inauguration where I invited my close family and friends. Everybody gave speeches. Everybody said good things about me, and wished me well. I have to say that my brother, we are three in the family. I am the youngest. My brother's speech was like Mark Antony's speech. nobody in the family expected him to talk like that, given because we know how he is, this character, his personality, what he is, and his speech that he wrote and gave is a reference material in the whole family now. Everybody go back to that and look, okay, what is it like all about? And then everybody wished me well. But when I started Tom's Language School, I had this idea of converting everything to non-profit because that is my passion. So after a couple of years in Tom's Language School, with a very high success rate, because none of my students have written their exam twice.
Whoa, that's impressive.
Thank you. But my ultimate goal was not teaching IELTS or something, because that is just a side track for me, After 2 years of work, I squashed Tom's Language School and I re-established as a Preeminent Foundation as a non-profit organization in Vancouver. It's very crazy. Like, I did not want it to be a regular non-profit, so I registered it as a member-funded non-profit, which means I have very limited restrictions to get government funding, because I did not want any interference from any higher authorities who I'm accountable for per se. If it's a member funded, we are not bound to be accountable for to anybody, because I wanted to try out new things, innovative things, crazy things, which I couldn't convince anybody else. I cannot convince my ideas that I have about these organizations to another person. The only way I can do is try it. If it fails, just tap your shoulders and go and try the next one. Until I can make this baby into an adult organization with fully grown up established features and specifics, I might try new things. I will come in, I will bring in new things, new ideas and stuff like that, and it will evolve as we speak. It might take years of failed experiments to really establish what I have in mind. And maybe that's the reason why I did not go through any job interviews, because I couldn't convince an interviewer that what I had in mind about project management.
So the next 4 years, you're really developing it. That you're in a development stage.
Yes, that's in that stage actually.
Now, do you have an offer for my listeners?
Oh yeah. Anybody who would be hearing this, who has a reference name with Earl Thomas, the voice, will get 50% discount in their language training. You could contact me for more details to my cell phone number, 236-862-0307, or you could email me at info@piceel.ca. You can find me out on all social media channels: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube. So please do subscribe, follow, like, and share all my posts.
And we'll definitely have that on the show notes. Now, any questions you wished I'd asked, or any final thoughts?
To my specific listeners in India, maybe it is helpful for everybody else as well. I am seeing news every day that people are being scammed in the name of immigration. Immigration scams are so high in the world, especially with those people in the Asian countries. They are being scammed with millions of dollars and rupees. The family lose their money, their job, everything. Please don't make immigrating to another country like your last supper, your death wish. People are thinking like it is their life depends on it. They have to move from one country to another. When I moved from India to Canada, I did not have any other way other than going somewhere abroad, and things have worked out really well for me. It has worked well for me. That does not mean it will work well for you, and it does not mean it won't work well for you. It's all a chance, a 50-50 chance, and you should have the heart to work hard when you are immigrating to another countries. And don't make it look like your life depends on it. Your life never depends on immigrating to another country. It depends on how you live that life. Imagine you get screwed after spending all that money on immigration, and you get screwed. To a minimum, if you are immigrating to another country, you might be qualified. You might be having an undergraduate degree at least, right? So in this technologically advanced world, try to go to the internet, in Google, search immigration consultants, immigration agents, immigration scams, immigration frauds, what is happening with immigration and higher studies, update the simple things that you can do to make sure that your application is through. You really don't need an immigration agent to complete your application. If you are so concerned about the perfection of it, use an authorized, certified consultant to get your application. Otherwise, you will be scammed again and again. Please don't ruin your life with this immigration fraud. Because 2 days ago, I read another news when an Indian family quit their job. They are on the streets now. They spent 24 lakh, which is like 38,000 Canadian dollars, their life savings for immigration to Canada, and now they are screwed. So please don't do this to yourself and your family. Thank you.
Thomas, really enjoyed having you today. Thank you for stopping by at Voice Power, and I wish you a fantastic day.
Thanks, Earl. I really thank you as well for having me here. Really a fun time that I had with you, and I'm really hoping to meet again and again. Thanks, Earl, and it was great to talk to you.
Thanks for tuning into Voice Power and subscribing and writing a review wherever you receive your podcast. Voice Power is the podcast that keeps you informed on how voiceovers improve your business and personal life. Earl Thomas, the voice, thanks you for joining him today. Have yourself a wonderful day, and we look forward to you joining us next time.